Let's turn now to Scott Stringer, who's a former New York City Comptroller, among a number of other positions in city government. He's a Democrat getting ready to challenge Mayor Adams in the primary. Welcome to you, sir. What should, or what do you think, what will Governor Hochul do here?
I'm not sure what she'll do, but I do think she's doing the right thing by consulting with her partners in government, weighing whether Eric Adams can continue in the role as mayor. Seems to me that when 4 deputy mayors resign, that's not staff changes. That signals the collapse of the New York City government. And that brings grave consequences, not just to New York City, but to the United States. We are the epicenter of commerce and industry. 8.5 million people live in the city. And I think enough is enough. So I think she's doing the right thing by talking to people, getting a feel of what's going on. But at the end of the day, I really do hope she takes the liberty and suspends or removes Mayor Adams. I think there's no other choice here.
Yeah, it never happened before, as we said. You mentioned the meetings today. Al Sharpton, among the people that she met with, here's what Sharpton said. Listen.
Said to me that she's going to see what the judge decides tomorrow and keep deliberating with other leaders. My feeling is that the faith of the city people have been shaken, and there needs to be a resolve, but at the same time we must protect the law and not establish a precedent that could come back to haunt us.
Interesting. He says that she's going to look to see what the judge does tomorrow. He's talking about this. There's a judge by the name of Judge Hochul, federal judge here in New York, who has called in Adams and the DOJ officials wants an explanation as to why this case was dropped. It's obviously the political speculation that it was just a simple quid pro quo to work with the Trump administration, but he wants it explained. He's not just willing to go along with it. So that'll be interesting. So I guess whatever happens there might affect this.
Well, that's very true. But look, part of this case is not just simply that charges are dropped. The courts or the papers have made it clear that you can bring these charges back at any moment.
Right. Well, so hold it over his head, in other words. But yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's a legitimate concern that, that suddenly the mayor of New York City is now under the thumb of the Trump administration. And that's not good in any way, because obviously when we're dealing with issues of migration, immigration, when we're dealing with issues of education, we've already seen clawbacks to some of our funding. We have a mayor that has no ability to fight back, because the consequences of fighting the Trump administration could be the reinstatement of federal charges. And that is one of the things that I think Governor Hochul has to weigh. Can this city be run by the elected mayor in an independent way? And there is grave doubt among many people, including myself, that can happen. So again, I do think the governor has to make a very big decision. I think she's doing it the right way. She loves our city. She's been a great governor. I just think we now have to sort of weigh in and say to her, we have you back. I know it's complicated politically. None of these decisions are easy. Al Sharpton, Reverend Sharpton is right that you got to be careful we don't set undue precedents here that we're going to come back to us. But again, this is why we gave this governor the power to have this responsibility.
Well, there's a long history of governors. People think, oh, it's a Democratic state, they must all get along. Not always the case, right? Politically, the mayor of New York City and the governor of New York. So, but this is far different, and is not just a political rivalry between the two. There are real legal questions here. Brad Lander wants to be mayor, like you, I believe, got into this with the city charter. Let's listen to what he had to say.
It is not prescribed in the charter the definitions of inability to discharge the powers and duties of the office of the mayor are not specified beyond that. And so the inability committee would need to work with attorneys and consult on clear rationale and definitions, for what is inability to discharge the powers and duties of the office of the mayor.
Do you have any sense about what would actually happen here, or how this could play out?
I actually don't quite understand what he's getting at. It seems like a lot of bureaucratic speak at a time when we need bold, decisive leadership. There's a reason why we give this governor, or a governor, the power to take this extraordinary action. She has legal counsel, she has resources, she has judgment. I'm not sure an ability committee, or if they call it the inability committee. I just think we have to resolve this.
Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.